Hi.
Hi there.
My name is Charlotte Woodrow, and I will be interviewing you today. First question: how did you get into advocating for people with Down syndrome?
That started when 45 years ago. We had a son born with Down syndrome. His name is Matthew, and I just learned that I had to speak up because sometimes things weren't like they should have been. His pediatrician, when he was just 8 weeks old, said put him in an institution because kids like these are like puppy dogs, and the longer he's around, the more attached you're going to get. And I knew that wasn't right. So that's probably when my advocacy work started, when he was 8 weeks old. So he's the reason I do everything I do.
Second question: what is Matthew's greatest challenge?
I think his greatest challenge is, it's not from him, it's from the people around him who don't take the time to get to know him or to listen to him. And when I say listen, because he doesn't use words to communicate, I mean like listening with their eyes and with their heart. So that's probably his challenge, is the people who are supposed to be supporting him.
Third question: what is Matthew's greatest achievement?
Oh my goodness. This is going to sound stereotypical, but I think Matt's ability to just be so positive and loving. He can charm a room without speaking. He can get people to understand what he wants and what he needs, and he can reach people that people who speak can't reach. He works at the VA hospital in St. Pete, in Florida, where we live, and we had a social worker come up to us, my husband and I, and she told me that Matt was able to connect with a soldier who has PTSD, and no one on staff could connect with this fellow. But Matt walked in the room and he smiled at this man, and this man started talking to Matt. No one had been able to reach him, and I think that's the gift that Matt has for everybody.
What aspect of Loss syndrome are you the most passionate about?
You know, for me, Loss syndrome has been kind of an interesting growth period, because Matt had a lot of challenges when he was younger and stuff. He never was the kind of guy that was going to be able to get a job like what you have with paid employment and stuff. And through my work with NDSS and my volunteering, I've come to know so many of the young folks in our Down syndrome community and see how capable and wonderful they are and what bright futures they can have. So I think, having a mechanism to address these laws that are, so out of date, and bringing along the community. I know I happened to be here when Loss syndrome was first, the campaign was first launched, and there were the buses and the billboards and people who are out in the community that don't know about folks with Down syndrome and have probably perceptions that they just are these pitiful poor little kids, are getting to learn that you folks have a lot to offer and have much that you can provide in the workforce and in employment. So to me, that's it's a door opener.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved in the Adult Summit?
Well, the Adult Summit was actually a dream of mine. I had gone to a conference in Florida where I met with a lot of families who had babies and school-age children. And as I drove back home from Orlando to Clearwater, I got thinking, we need something like this for adults, because once our kids, and I say kids, and even though Matt's an adult and certainly not a kid, he's still my kid, but once they become adults, the world changes. The services that are required and the programs that we work with are very different, and so life is very different, and it's hard to find the information we need. And so in 2017, I got to talk to Sarah Weir, and she was like, let's do this. You know, we do need something like this. So it's been a real honor to watch something that was just a dream for me actually become reality, and, you know, to be now working on our third adult summit. And I think one of the neatest things for me is getting to know the young people like you and Adrienne and, you know, so many of the young people who come to the summit and, you know, have incredible futures ahead of you and stuff, and getting to watch you, you know, explore what the possibilities are through, you know, networking with folks that come and present and are just there to learn more. So yeah.
So, how did you feel about the very first Seed 21 event? Like,
Do you know,
when you went to it?
oh my God, I get chills when I think about it, still to this day, and I can get teary-eyed thinking about it, because it was really the eye-opener. I had kind of walked away from the Down syndrome community because Matt's challenges were so significant that I didn't feel a part of, you know, the conferences and things that went on in the world of Down syndrome. And so what I knew about Down syndrome was really very much of what Matt's life was all about. And the evening that I walked into that restaurant and saw what all of you young people were doing, my life changed. My life changed. I just saw all of the opportunities that are really available if we just open our hearts and open the doors for young people with Down syndrome. So it is like, it was a life changer for me, and I encourage anyone who has an opportunity to do C21 and experience that, absolutely do it. Yeah.
Well, it was very nice having you.
Thank you, Charlotte.
My name is Charlotte Woodward, and I'll see you next time. Signing off.